Now, when Paul says we find ourselves in the middle of a fight, what do we need to do? We need to recognize that we're wearing a crown, yes, but then we need to value others above ourselves. In other words, we need to work for the fact as followers of Jesus that we don't always look to the interests of ourselves, but we also look to the interests of other people. And friends, here's the thing. You can't do that if you're still wearing the crown. In other words, you can't focus on the needs of somebody else if you're constantly focusing on your own needs. And so Paul is saying, hey guys, if you're going to work through compromise, then you need to be able to look at the situation and actually take off the crown. In other words, you need to come to the reality that you're not going to have it your way. You know, here's how Paul says we can do this. Take a look at verse 5. He says, in your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus, who being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. And being found in appearance as a man, here's the key, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. Now, when Paul says that we need to develop the mindset of Jesus, notice that he's acknowledging that this does not come natural to us. In other words, valuing others above ourselves, well, that's something we've actually got to learn. I mean, we're so used to wearing the crown, we have to learn what it's like to take off the crown. Okay, think about it like this. When babies are born, their primary instinct is to survive. And because they want to survive, they're focused on their own needs, right? They want to be held. They want to be fed. They're not thinking about the needs of other people. If they did, they would be considerate of their parents and do things like, I don't know, let them sleep through the night. Well, that's been a while. I can't even remember that, right? That would be nice. But you see, babies don't do that. They don't do that because they're naturally focused on their own needs. And so what do we as parents have to do? As our kids grow older, we have to teach them that the world doesn't revolve around them. In other words, we have to teach them how to do things like share and consider other people. And so this is what Paul is getting at here, that if we're going to take off the crown and recognize that we usually wear it, but we need to take it off, we have to develop the mindset of Jesus. We have to learn how to have the mindset of Christ Jesus. Because, here's the thing, as Christians, we believe and we profess that 2,000 years ago, on a day we call Good Friday, our God took off his crown for us. He humbled himself. He made himself nothing. He was obedient to death, even death on a cross. And you know what? In doing all of that, he valued our needs when he had every right to only consider his. And so according to Paul, this is what we need to do in our relationships too. That compromise is not about changing the other person, but it's about changing yourself for the sake of the other person. Okay, true compromise involves taking off the crown.